Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're tuned in to the Lions Den, official source of UCCS Sports. We've been talking all show so far about the importance of this weekend's upcoming games. And it's that time of the season where every game is important as every team is nearing towards the end of the regular season, looking to make that push towards the playoffs. And your UCCS volleyball team is no exception. 8 matches remaining in the regular season against 6 different opponents. And this weekend might be the toughest weekend of the remaining schedule, as tomorrow night they're going to open things up against Colorado Christian, who sits right above them in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Colorado Christian came in with a 7-game winning streak up until last weekend, where they went 0-2. So Mountain Lions looking to keep them on that same side of the losing bracket. But again, big matches coming in. Charlie, You're the broadcast for all of those games, our play-by-play broadcaster. You've been watching the team, traveling with the team. You'll be with the team tomorrow. Real quick, the Cougars coming in 14-7 overall, 6-4. That 6-4 record in the conference is the same record as the Mountain Lions. Yeah. So that's a big game for UCCS tomorrow night, a huge matchup to help us propel ahead in the standings. What's your take and what are your thoughts going into tomorrow's matchup?
I got a chance to talk to Chrissy Elder, and we'll play that in a little bit, but I asked, is there any pressure on this, more pressure, that since Colorado Christian is tied with UCCS at 6-4, and she said, it's another game, but there is. They would like to have that tiebreaker just in case playoffs start and they would have the seed over. But with this one, they're coming in on a 3-game winning streak and last weekend went 2-0 on the road, so big weekend there, but this is probably the biggest weekend for the Mountain Lions, as next week they'll be back at home, and then the next 2 weeks after that, they finish the season on the road. So if you can get these games at home with your crowd, sleeping in your own bed, on your own schedule, those will probably help in the long run more than being on the road. So definitely be a fun one. I expect a lot of players to step up, as we saw different players stepping up, and every player played against New Mexico Highlands that traveled with the team. So that was a lot of fun to watch. Kenzie Mitchell got some crucial points and some crucial kills in that 4th set. Yeah. So I expect a lot of players to be stepping up, but I expect the players that we've been talking about this whole season really to step their game up even more. And with Morgan Evans, I can't imagine her stepping her game up even more, because she is doing a lot, but I can imagine her doing a little bit more of the kills and the blocks. I mean, she's already averaging about 1.62 kills per game, but she could average 2-3 kills this weekend. It'd be excellent for the Mountain Lions.
Well, I think that's going to be an interesting matchup to keep an eye on tomorrow night against the Cougars, the matchup of the setters, because Morgan Evans, we've been talking all season long about her continuing to climb the ranks. If she plays at the rate she's been playing, she should finish in 3rd all-time in program history for assists. On the Cougar side of things, it's number 18, Kylie Worcester, with a little over 10.5 assists per set. So that's a great matchup, I think, to keep an eye on. But my money would be on Morgan Evans, because she does a little bit more. As you mentioned, she also sneaks some in on 2 for the kills. You always see her battling at the net for the blocks, and she can serve it as well. She's never taken out during the serve. I mean, she's our primary setter, so she's in almost all the time. But Spencer, what's your take going into tomorrow's matchup against the Cougars?
I have to agree. I mean, Morgan is so versatile in the way that she plays her game. But I think we talk about that a lot with all of our players, how versatile they are. Not only, is Taylor Hamilton there for the kill, but she's there, for a dig if we need to. Morgan Evans and Natasha Haber is having a heyday the last couple games that she's been doing.
Haybert with a heyday, I like it.
With a heyday, there you go. But I expect tomorrow to be a great game. I think that they can. I think they'll push through. But we always keep talking about finishing out. And I think that if they can get that push, finish out, get under their belt, will be good. But I think tomorrow we have played a lot of 4 sets, 5-set games. I'd like to see a three sweep them tomorrow.
I think the ladies would like to see that too.
I think they would too. And I think being at home, having that fire under their shoulder, knowing that they need this for a tiebreaker, I think they'll do it. I think that they can.
I think it's going to be tough. Again, a couple other notable names to keep an eye out on. Number 5, Sofia Perano, 3.7 kills per set, hitting 294. Her hitting percent's pretty solid with 57 blocks on the season, so she does a little bit of everything. And then the big one to look out for on the Cougars side there is number 10, Hope Balderica, 88 blocks so far this season, averaging 1.13 blocks per set. So we know we're going to be battling at the net. I anticipate that there's going to be a lot of walls going up there at the net. The Mountain Lions are going to have to figure a way to get around the wall, throw up some decoys, and really try to trick the Cougars so they can find some openings.
Well, I mean, we haven't even talked about our leading kill getter, our leading points, Alyssa Brinton.
She's playing phenomenally.
She is playing, on that RMAC first team, second team level. And the thing is, she's one of those quiet players that gets her kills, and also another versatile player, averages about three digs per set. So they definitely attack her in the back, and it's interesting to see that aspect too, that all these girls can do a lot of things. But Alyssa Brinton, she will definitely be matched up against Balderica, and it's going to be 2 or 3 blockers coming at Alyssa Brinton probably the whole night.
Well, we mentioned the importance of tomorrow night's matchup in terms of the standing. That might not even be the toughest matchup of the weekend, though, because they're also going to face the likes of Colorado Mines, who is a very tough team, coming into that matchup on Saturday with an overall record of 15-4, only losing 1 time all season in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, coming in with a conference record of 9-1. That's going to be a tough matchup. A couple of key players there to look out for. Number 2, Elena Winfield, 3.7 kills per set, hitting just under 300 with her percent and 54 blocks. So that's going to be the key player, I think, number 2, to keep an eye out on. Number 1, Ellie Monarch, just under 3 kills per set and a team-high 56 blocks. And then number 7, Taryn Huber with 5.4 digs per set. I like Natasha Habert with that dig matchup, though. The defensive specialist matchup, I think the Mountain Lions have the advantage. Colorado Mines also comes in identifying with 2 premier setters. They tend to have 2 that they go with, where we established it's Morgan Evans who really runs the show for the Mountain Lions. So real quick, Charlie, what's your take? Because I know you're going to be calling the action on that game as well. Another crucial game. We can't overstate the importance of these weekend's games.
Well, tomorrow I'm calling that game with Mac Buckley alongside, so it'll be a lot of fun with him. But I think this weekend it's going to be a dogfight. It's really going to be a close matchup. Yes, it'd be nice to go 3-0, but with going into 5 sets, our UCCS volleyball team has been used to that. They went, I believe, 4 matches in a row going into 4 or 5 sets. So definitely a fun one. I think it'll be a dogfight, and this will really show how much heart UCCS, CCU, and Colorado Mines has altogether.
Absolutely. Well, Charlie, you met up with head coach Chrissy Elder to preview these matchups. So let's go ahead and cut to that interview with head coach Chrissy Elder of your UCCS volleyball team.
Charlie Botnick here with UCCS Athletics, here with head coach Chrissy Elder of the UCCS volleyball team. Now, Coach, after going 2-0 this weekend and having this week of practice, what do you guys have been working on, and what did you review from this weekend?
We've given them a little bit of rest. That's part of that season where they're just worn out and a little tired. And today we had a pretty good practice. So, we're going to keep continuing to work on the things that we need to work on, our offense, our defense, stuff like that.
And a big weekend, first off playing at Colorado Christian University. Right now they are tied 6-4 in the conference with UCCS at 6-4 in the conference. So really, how big is this game?
This is a big game for us, mainly because this is our tiebreaker game. We only play them once this season. So if we wind up staying tied at the end of the season, we want to be able to say we own the tiebreaker for this game, for sure.
And this is really the first playoff atmosphere game that you guys have this season. Is that going to be any more pressure for the girls on this game?
No, I don't think so. I think as long as we continue to do what we're supposed to do and keep working towards our end goal, I think we're going to be okay.
And then Saturday, you have Colorado Mines, another top school in the RMAC. Really, what are you guys focusing on for them? And, a really tough opponent. So what are you really focusing on? Same
thing that we've been doing. I think if we take care of the ball on our side of the court, that's really all we can do. And they're a really good team. Both teams this weekend are very good teams. But if we focus on us, I think that it will be harder for them.
And talking about a little bit of this weekend, you guys played New Mexico Highlands and gave up that first set. And we've talked about before, closing out games. So what have you guys really been working on in practice to close out games and putting them in that type of situation?
That's what we're doing. We're putting them in situations where they have to make those decisions and really kind of play on the ropes. When we play straight 25-point games, it's not teaching them that the last 5 points are the most important. So that's what we've been doing, is putting them in situations where games to 5 are really, really important instead of a whole match or a whole set.
And all players who traveled played against New Mexico Highlands in that in one of those sets. So really, are you focusing on more of that team play and getting everyone in for this weekend, or what is the game plan for that?
We'll use whoever it's going to take, honestly. And the really cool thing about our team is that the last few weekends, it's taken the whole team, and each individual has stepped up. When one has struggled a little bit, somebody has really stepped up to help them out. So it's reassuring as a coach to know that we can just throw somebody in there and they're ready to go and they're competing just as hard as the other person.
And also with this weekend, really, what's going to be the X factor? What is going to be the thing that you guys focus on most, either blocking, serving? What's going to be that X factor?
I think it's going to be our whole game. With these two teams, it's going to take a full effort of offense and defense. It's just one of those things. It's going to take a lot of fight.
Well, there you have it. Head coach Christy Elder of the UCCS volleyball team taking on CCU and then Colorado Mines. Coach, great luck.
Thanks.
Great luck.
And of course, that was your very own Charlie Bang Bang Botnick, the voice of your UCCS volleyball team, meeting up with head coach Chrissy Elder